Welcome back, student. Now in the second part we are going to study the types of respiration. As you have already learned that respiration is of two kinds, aerobic and anaerobic, and it is depending upon the oxygen requirement. So when respiration takes place in the presence of oxygen, we call it aerobic respiration. Now you can learn another word. Aerobic respiration is also known as oxybiotic respiration, and this is the respiration which takes place when oxygen is freely available, and in this the glucose is completely oxidized. There is complete oxidation of glucose, so it is in the presence of oxygen. So write down O2, and the end products are carbon dioxide, water and ATP. And one thing which I did not mention earlier was that 1 mole of glucose, you should know that 1 mole of glucose will yield 38 molecules of ATP on complete oxidation. Okay, so normally all the living organisms respire aerobically in the presence of oxygen, but in case of plants, certain plant parts can also respire anaerobically depending upon the oxygen availability. For example, seeds, some fruits and certain cells of plants, they can respire without the availability of oxygen, and you all know that it is called anaerobic respiration or an oxybiotic respiration. Fine. And in this respiration there is incomplete oxidation of glucose, C6H12O6. Now without oxygen, means without oxygen also the food can be broken down inside the cells, but the energy which will be yielded, the energy which will be produced will be very less. As I told you that in aerobic respiration 1 mole of glucose yields 38 molecules of ATP. In anaerobic respiration, glucose will be broken down without oxygen, and the end products will be ethyl alcohol. So you need to learn the formula C2H5OH. This is ethyl alcohol, or we also call it ethanol, plus carbon dioxide plus 2 molecules of ATP. Only 2 ATP are produced, whereas in aerobic respiration 38 molecules will be produced from 1 mole. Okay, so this is called anaerobic respiration. In 7th and 8th classes you have studied that anaerobic respiration is a characteristic feature of yeast, right? That is a type of fungi, and certain bacteria and fungi, they normally respire anaerobically. In fungi the best example is yeast, where when we have studied the topic of fermentation, we will also study later on in the 9th class, right? But in case of plants, some plant parts can also respire anaerobically. But you have to remember the equations. In anaerobic respiration there is incomplete breakdown of glucose, and the byproducts are ethanol, carbon dioxide and 2 molecules of ATP. Fine. Now in your book they have given a table. You need to thoroughly revise the two equations, aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration, and you also need to study the difference between aerobic and anaerobic respiration. So anaerobic respiration, the equation is given in your book. Please go through it and write down how to write. Now see the differences. Aerobic respiration proceeds in the presence of oxygen, and anaerobic without oxygen. Here, as I told you, there is complete breakdown of glucose. In anaerobic respiration, incomplete breakdown of glucose. For aerobic respiration, what are the end products? Carbon dioxide and water. Here, in place of water, there will be alcohol and carbon dioxide. Energy liberated is in large quantity, 38 ATP from 1 mole of glucose, and here from 1 mole of glucose only 2 ATP molecules will be formed, and it occurs normally throughout the life, whereas anaerobic respiration occurs temporarily only for short periods when there is oxygen is not freely available. But if a plant part is kept for without oxygen, then after certain time it will die without oxygen. But for some time it can survive on the basis of anaerobic respiration. Okay, now let us revise the progress check. We have 3 questions here. So first is, give the overall chemical equation for the 2 kinds of respiration in plants. So just now I told you, you can write down from your book. Mention any one difference other than those reflected in the 2 chemical equations given above. Means apart from these equations, leaving, means you should not say that here 2 molecules are produced in aerobic, 38 molecules. Leaving these things, what other difference did you observe? Then you can write from here that this occurs throughout the life and anaerobic occurs only for short periods. Okay, first one. And second one, you can write that there is complete breakdown of glucose, and here there is incomplete breakdown of glucose. And of course you can also write it takes place in the presence of oxygen and without oxygen. Okay, so basically second point and fifth point goes with this answer. The next question is, certain organisms respire only anaerobically throughout their lives. Name any 2 such organisms. So these 2 such organisms are certain bacteria and fungi, for example yeast. Okay, so now our next topic is we have certain experiments based on respiration in plants. First experiment is, oxygen is used in respiration. We have to prove that during respiration oxygen is used. So now you have learned the equation of respiration, and now one by one there will be experiments to prove the things. For example, now you know that respiration means breakdown of glucose, and the end products are carbon dioxide, water and ATP. So now first experiment is that we have to prove that oxygen is used to break down the glucose, or we can say oxygen is used in respiration. So for this, in case of plant, this we are particularly studying in case of plants. So we have an experimental setup in which we are going to take 2 conical flasks. So let us say this is one flask, first conical flask, and this is another conical flask. Let us label them as A and this as B. Fine. Now these 2 conical flasks, we will be closing their mouths with the help of a cork. And do you know why we take cork? The reason is that because cork is made up of dead cells, sclerenchymatous cells, and it does not allow it is impermeable to gaseous exchange as well as to water. So nothing can go inside, nothing can from inside, nothing can come out. Even the volatile things can also not escape. Now these corks have one hole, and from this hole we are going to fix a tube. This tube we call it as delivery tube. All these apparatus is found in the experiments laboratories. So once you are going in labs, we will be seeing these things. This is the delivery tube. So we are going to fix delivery tubes, and these delivery tubes are immersed in a beaker containing colored water. So we have a beaker filled of colored water. Okay, now what we have taken another things. Now these conical flasks can be fitted with the help of a stand. We have normally a tripod stand, and we have certain screws to fix them. So just you can refer your books to see there are certain screws to fix them, and this is the experimental setup. This is the stand. So what we are going to take this, why we are taking 2 flasks? One will be our experimental setup, the other one will be our control. Whenever we perform an experiment, we have a control. The difference is that in control also we will provide all the things like flask A, flask B, both tubes, everything will be same, except the thing which we are going to see, the factor which we are going to observe or on which we are going to experiment, that thing we will not provide. For example, right now our experiment is that oxygen is used in respiration. So we will cut out this oxygen from here. Means now how we are you know that mostly we are using germinating seeds, because germinating seeds, they respire faster. So let us take few germinating bean seeds. So here we have taken bean seeds, germinating bean seeds. Now we need to provide water. So water we can give by dipping them in wet cotton wool. So here we have taken wet cotton wool. Here also we have taken wet cotton wool. But here we have taken the seeds which are boiled. In control setup, we are taking boiled seeds. What will be the resultant of boiled seed? If we boil the seeds, the cells will be dead and there will be dead embryo, and obviously the enzymes will be inactive. Okay, so there will be no respiration. But in case of normal seeds, we are providing water and all, so there will be the seeds will germinate, or we can say that we can see the experiment for respiration. So in flask A we are taking seeds, bean seeds, and in flask B we are taking boiled seeds. And now we have also dipped inserted one test tube, and this test tube is filled with KOH, or we have taken soda lime. This is to absorb the carbon dioxide given out. So here also we have attached one test tube with the help of thread, and this contains soda lime. So what we will observe after few days? We will observe that these seeds will germinate, and what we are seeing that here, when we see these seeds germinating, so first of all, how we can test that oxygen is there? For this, we will, after 3-4 days, we will remove the cork and we will bring one matchstick, burning matchstick, and as soon as we insert the matchstick in flask A, it will extinguish, showing that there is no oxygen, because whatever oxygen was available in the flask is used by these seeds for germination. Okay, and whereas in flask B, same thing, we brought a matchstick, burning matchstick here, but we will notice that the matchstick will burn for some time and then it will extinguish. The reason is that here there is oxygen, because the oxygen which was already present in the flask is not used by the seeds, as the seeds were boiled or dead seeds. Fine. So this proves that oxygen is used up during respiration. Another thing we are going to notice is that there is increase in water level in test tube A till here, and certain level, and little increase in water level, let's say till here, in test tube B, in the setup of B. This increase in level of water, now you will be thinking why. Now here in test tube A, there is increase in level of water. That is because this oxygen is used up. When the oxygen is used up by the seeds and carbon dioxide will be produced during respiration, that carbon dioxide is absorbed by this KOH solution. Okay, so what happens, that sort of vacuum is created, and you can say the pressure is decreased and vacuum is created. So to fill up that vacuum, water is pulled up and to a certain level. Whereas in test tube B, there will be little rise in water. This is when you have brought the matchstick inside and then some oxygen was used for burning. So again, little or very slight vacuum is created. So that is why there is a slight rise in the level of water in test tube B also. So this experiment proves that oxygen is used by the germinating seeds. So now you have to read from your book this same experiment, just you read it. This same experiment is given, and if you have any doubt, then we will discuss in our normal classes. So children, you revise till here till I come back with my next video. Thank you very much.